morning, everyone. We were expecting 5 people. We're happy to have more. Thank you for coming here at 9 o'clock. It's a big day for us today, for me and Davide and the other people who have been working on this project. We only have 15 minutes. We'll be very brief. But we wanted to give you a bit of a context of the flavor of what we have been working on for the past 2 years. So, I represent the Council of Europe Development Bank, the CEB, and at the CEB we work with around 30 microfinance institutions, all of them present here today. And as we started working with these institutions, we realized that there is an issue. We work with microfinance because we care about social impact, and this is the only reason why we support microfinance institutions. But we noticed that all of them measure the impact differently, or some struggle to measure it at all, while others have quite developed techniques. So there is a lot of heterogeneity in the sector. And we wanted to cross-fertilize the good practices for the others and to help institutions that struggle to measure their impact better. So this is where we basically started. 2 years ago, I met Davide, I shared this concern that I had, and we started discussing what could we do to help the sector measure social impact better. And it has been a long journey. When we started with Davide, we did not know where we would end up. Davide was quite skeptical. In the beginning he said already so many things exist, no one is using anything anyway, so why would we do that? But I think little by little we have learned together. We have learned from the institutions, we have learned from other international partners, we have learned from academia, and we today are launching a toolkit that comes from all this wide knowledge that has been accumulated. And Davide was not working alone, he was working with other consultants and teams, and we are very proud today to present to you to launch this new, improved toolkit. And Davide, I would ask you to present us some highlights of all of this work, and we invite you to check it out. There will be a QR code that will allow you to access the toolkit directly.
Thank you very much, Kristina. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So, maybe, okay, Okay, great. Let me retake what Kristina has just said. So I was very skeptical at the beginning because there are a lot of frameworks, there is a lot of theory out there, and so it took us a couple of months to understand where the gap lies. And the gap lies in practice. So the idea was, okay, if we want really to develop a toolkit, we need something that is structured, a step-by-step practical pathway, especially designed for European microfinance institutions. So we started this journey about 2 years ago. We developed the toolkit by reviewing more than 200 academic and non-academic sources. We interviewed more than 20 practitioners, but over the 2 years, more than 40 and 50, we have been engaging with more than 40 and 50 practitioners all across Europe. So we have received a lot of feedback that we have used to improve the toolkit. So we launched the first version in Cagliari last year, about 7 months ago, and over the last 7 months we have tried to improve it, to make it more modern and engaging, and also we have but let me just, okay, so, oh, sorry, well, okay, let me take a step backward. We said, okay, before moving forward, we need to pilot the toolkit to see if the toolkit works. And so we We conducted some training sessions with microfinance institutions. I will talk about that in a minute. And thanks to that, we have been able to enhance the toolkit and to understand that there is not just the need for a toolkit, but to create a community of practice around that. So, so we need, the sector involved to keep the learning journey going. So this is the new, let's say these are screenshots from the new platform that we have developed. So I will show you the QR code at the end of the presentation. So it's hosted on the website of the CD. And so as you can see, so it consists of 8 different models, going from understanding your impact, building or reviewing your tier of change, to data collection, data analysis, and how to learn from impact data, how to report to funders. But we also have a very last module that is about innovation. So, so some suggestions or some insights on how artificial intelligence or machine learning can be leveraged to, make it more cost-effective and less time-consuming. Okay. Let me talk about the pilot. So we launched the pilot about 4 months ago, and we have been able to engage 18 microfinance institutions across different 10 countries. And so the training sessions that were, so we designed them to be very engaging. So we also had opportunities to work together during the sessions. We also provided one-to-one clinics for institutions that wanted to have a personal advice. And then we tried to integrate all the feedback back into the toolkit. So what I would like to do is to share with you some of the lessons that we have learned. But before doing that, let me start from where most of the institutions were when they arrived. Here you have some quotes, real quotes, from the training sessions. And what emerged at the beginning was some very common challenges. Indicator overload. We collect a lot of data, but we don't know what to do with that. Or we have a huge number of indicators, but we don't know what these indicators are telling us or how to use them. We don't have a tier of change. Or we don't know how to report to funders. So what is required by funders? Okay. So these are the starting points. And let me share with you some of the lessons. So the most surprising funding was when we asked institutions to experiment with the tier of change, to build a primary version of their tier of change. And we didn't know exactly what would have happened out of that. But it was very surprising because the tier of change, instead of being just a planning tool, became actually a mirror for many institutions. So they discovered something that they didn't know about them. You have some quotes here. We realized we are financing 99% only farmers, mostly individual farmers. It was a revelation for us. I found out that my company had 50% rural clients. It can change our strategy in the future. So these are real quotes, so I have not changed the words that you have there, okay? One institution said, I had immediately a report to the board, these fundings, okay? Well, why is that? Because when you build a tier of change, you have to collect data about, for example, your crime profiles, what are the kind of services you're offering, How do you think your services and products will change the lives of your clients? So it's already a huge learning process for the institution before measuring your social impact. And then the second lesson is start with what you have. We collect information, but we don't use it in an active way to do more good. When you try to implement those indicators, you have to decide when do you take the baseline, how do you calculate the change, how often do you collect the data. Most of the data is already there. In some cases, not formalized. That emerged mostly from the one-to-one discussions with the MFIs. Our loan officers, they visit our clients on a monthly basis. Do you collect any data? Do you formalize that? No. Okay, maybe you just can, ask to your loan officers to pose 3 or 4 key questions that you collect regularly from your clients. It's very cost-effective, not so time-consuming, and you can learn a lot from there. And so the implications are that quality over quantity is the most important strategy. So 6, 8, some key indicators at the beginning, okay, that are relevant for your institution, that are useful for your learning and for your decision making. And then we also discover, because we started the training with the objective to improve the toolkit, but we actually realized immediately that the training was not only a learning tool for us, it was a necessity. So the toolkit itself doesn't work without having a minimal assistance to the MFIs. Because sometimes they have, they are very afraid of even minimal steps. So should I do this or not? Should I go this way or the other way? Okay, and also during the training they had the opportunity to exchange with each other, this is where we understood that having a community of practice is critical. For example, institutions said, okay, many funders, they want to know what is the quantity of jobs I created, but what about the quality? Or another institution said, we have experience with migrants, migrant clients, and they share their experience in how migrant clients, they manage their finances with other institutions. Because we gave them some case studies to analyze, and one of them was about migrant clients. Another institution claimed, okay, for example, satisfaction survey, they can be very useful. But what we have realized is that clients actually, they always say that are happy because the relationship with them depends also on the feedback that they give us. So these are, several findings that we try to integrate into the toolkit. No framework could have generated such insights. And so what are the implications? A measurement toolkit without community of practice is only half the solution. So we invite you to join the community, to share your feedback. Okay, we will in the future create some further tools to engage you more. Okay, and what's next? So please use the toolkit, give us a feedback, okay? It's a work in progress. It's currently, as the IT consultants, they said, the minimum viable product, but 90% of the toolkit is currently usable. We expect to have a very final version by September, but your feedback is very important, and you can use it immediately, okay? And then please engage with the community of practice, reach out to us. We are interested, how can we contribute? Okay, that's also very important. And then today we're going to have at 11 a.m. a workshop with some participants that register for that. Well, we will together try to take the first steps into social impact measurement with the idea of, you know, going away with a 3-month plan on how, on next steps, very practical steps that they can take to start this this journey. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Davide. So the toolkit, and could you put up?
Yeah, sure.
So the toolkit is a learning platform. It's designed as a learning platform that is free of charge, accessible to everyone. You don't need to register. It's basically estimated 3 hours training course that you can start and restart whenever you like. And all of this is possible because of the support of European Commission. This toolkit has been developed under the InvestEU Advisory Hub, and we really appreciate the resources that were made available for that. And I also would like to thank my colleagues who are here today who helped work on the toolkit to put it in place, especially Jacobo. Davide, to you and the team, it has been a very intense work, and it will continue. We plan to continue improving the toolkit to make it better, to add different modules, so this is work in progress. We would like to thank all the MFIs that have joined the community of practice, and it was a challenge. Initially, when we invited people to join, we said, what's in it for us? No one wanted to waste time on that, and now we have a lot of demand and a lot of institutions that saw the value and want to continue engaging in that. And finally, let me thank Thomas Eriksson, who was my boss at the time and who thought this was a good idea and signed off the project. So thank you, everyone.